इससे प्यार है, आना एक बार है, खो देना बेकार है। जिंदगी जिंदगी
Hi guys, what's up? Zindagi Gulzar Hai. Well, this is a Pakistani drama directed by Sultana Siddiqui and produced by Mumina Durred of Mumal Productions, which was broadcasted on Hum TV based on this novel by the same name by Umaira Ahmad and was first telecast from 30th November 2012 to May 2013 in Pakistan. And I happened to watch the show last month and binge watched, yes. Yeah, the show is about daughters, female empowerment, male education, male chauvinism, hierarchical class structure, but it's not about feminism. Please stop saying that it's about feminism, okay? Now, the show showed us that stereotyping is uncool. Neither is Kashaf haughty, nor is Zarun snobby, as they're shown to be, or as we generally stereotype people to be. And that education and exposure helps to change mindsets. So this show is about Kashif and Zaroon, yes, a romantic story, but what's important here is that it's a Pakistani household, that too of 2012 2013, about 7 to 8 years older, which we know was pretty conservative, right, and patriarchy prevails everywhere, my lovelies. So, well, the show has women being the subjects of men in many ways, propagating patriarchy, which we cannot deny just because we are empowering women in many other ways. So, here Kashyap's character, who's an average looking, mature, strong, smart, independent, and responsible woman. I loved the character. The show would prima facie look like a feminist show, but oh no. Just as I said, it's totes not that. If we start with the most important character, that is Kashyap's, who's a strong woman who works hard, battles, struggles, uh, battles against a misogynistic father to achieve her dreams, excel in her life, and show her father, her stepmother, and everyone that a woman is not less than them, less than their male counterparts. But in reality, they are resilient, strong, and smart, and can achieve anything that they set their eyes on. Well, we love Kashyap for that, but we love her more for when she tells Zaroon that she's not the Peruki Juti sort of a wife, and she's, moreover, never hesitant in expressing where she thinks Zaroon's crossing the line, misusing his Shohar title. She's independent, she's mature, she's responsible, and she's smart. She had her father complex, but we loved her more for not succumbing to the father just because the society says that the woman should, because you know it, right? Patriarchy, my boys. But she stood her ground time and again and didn't let her father demean her mother. Remember that incident, that scenario, that scene where she basically talked back to her father because he was insulting her mother. That was lovely. She worked hard and she proved that daughters are no burden and deserve just as much as love as sons do. Remember that scene when Rafia says it was beautiful? I had tears in my eyes. It was when Rafia said, बेटियां बोझ नहीं होती भाई साहब, बोझ बना दी जाती हैं. Now over to Zaroon's character. Well, I have a lot of complaints with his character. Yeah, he was charming, attractive, funny, smart, and whatever you girls might say, but I'll add that he's some part of male chauvinist too, which he agrees to being. Well, no trouble. But I knew where he was trouble when he wrote that diary and expressed his views. And well, I think kudos to the writer and director, and of course Fawad, because that's very well portrayed, I think, intentionally. Now, I think what's troublesome is that his character is proudly shown as male chauvinist, and it's kind of shown that there's no problem with that, which is weird. And I credit most of them to patriarchy and us having normalized patriarchy. So here I would still again, yet again, just say that patriarchy doesn't only harm women, it also harms men, and it's just a wrong system. And many a times we put in place wrong systems, but a change is always good. So this starts the the character starts with the college scenario, how he tries to befriend Kashyap, which is problematic. Just because she didn't swoon over him like all the other girls, because he wanted to prove that he's the man whom every woman wants and is basically head over heels with. And when Zaroon preached Sara and Asmara about how to dress decently and come home at time when he himself didn't come. So now you will say that he's saying that out of concern. Well, concern and restrictions are two different things, and the ways you express those are also very different. And the way Zaroon was saying all those things was more out of restriction than concern. And him telling her mom to pay attention to her husband and her family more than her personal life. Now, while I agree that a kid would want his or her parent to do that, but what I fail to understand is why the expectation is only from a woman that is a mother and not from a man that's a father. Many a times we see that in many households that fathers are actually not even taking care of their kids who even they decided to having, right? But then no parent has a problem with that because that's just the culture. When, like, you might say that okay, the man works and the woman doesn't. In that scenario, it still makes a little bit sense. But then when both of the parents are working and still the woman is expected to care for her kid, but not a man. The problem is not you expecting a woman to do her job of taking care of a kid, but the problem is where you don't expect a man to do the same. Why is there a difference? We just don't want men to be suffering as much as women, but what we want is let there be an equal status for both, an equal uh, basis of marking both the genders in all areas of life. And when later after marriage he tells Kashyap that he believes that a man is the head of the family, and if that position gives him certain rights, he deserves them. I'm sorry, deserves because the society says so. That's where the problem is. And just say that there is patriarchy is our own, believing that you're head just because the society believes the same as patriarchy that gives you certain positions with rights is benefiting of patriarchy, which is why it exists. Well, now in a situation either a man or a woman can be head of the family depending upon their role in the family, which is the ideal case. Now we know that that an ideal is difficult to reach but not impossible. Now is it? No. And also what I mean by ideal here is simple. You want to take that responsibility? Okay, take that. You don't want to take that responsibility? Okay, don't take that. You want to share responsibility equally? Okay, equal. Does the man want to be in power and the woman is okay with that? Okay, that's how the situation is going to be at your house. Does the man want to take the power in the does the woman want to take a power and the man is okay? Okay. Do they want to share? Okay. I mean, let there be a sort of communication and choice. It shouldn't be imposed on any of the parties. Please. Also, another instance when we got to know that Zaroon got to know that Osama had proposed Kashyap, he was furious and thought that she sort of cheated on him. Like, really, is that how cheating works? I knew the rules wrong all along. Kashyap tried to explain that she said no and it didn't matter, but no, my man wouldn't care. Then he doesn't realize why Kashyap didn't like him chatting with Asmara, the ex fiance, and he proclaims that she's overreacting. Okay, let me understand, let me process this. She's two babies in a womb. The man's talking to her ex-fiance, to his ex-fiance, like yesterday and a day before and today too, and didn't tell her wife that he says that he loves the most, and she's stupid. Oh yeah, sure. He basically doesn't think that there's anything bigger than for a woman than her marriage and her and a husband and stuff, not even a career. Oh yeah, of course not. And like, okay, he loves her, he comes back to her, but he doesn't realize that when Kashyap leaves him, it was his mistake. And okay, Kashyap was also wrong for not listening to him. It was a rule set by them that they have to listen to each other. But you were the one who hid the fact from her. Like, you were also at some sort of fault here, Zaroon. And after the scene he created after the Osama event, really, the problem is he's never shown sorry for his views about liberal women. Now, everyone is entitled to opinion and their own set of beliefs, but that beliefs ground should be justifiable, right? A liberal man is not frowned upon, but why is a liberal woman always frowned upon? Why do you forget that they're equal? Why? Now, coming to Asmara, I won't say that I loved her character because I certainly didn't. But, she's an independent woman who wants to take decisions for herself. And she's shown in a bad light because of that. Like, okay, you can show her in a bad light because of her character. Like, she's not probably as kind or as smart or other things. But, like, I mean, just because she wants to take her decisions on her own is wrong. Why does she have to ask her fiance for everything? Yes, they have, they being partners, they have to make certain adjustments in their lives and some compromises, but they shouldn't always be one party making all the compromises and adjustments and the other party just ruling and controlling. And then we, saw that Sarah, Sarah, the sister, she's an independent and wrong in many of her decisions. But can you explain me a girl coming home at 2 in a dress with her fiance is more wrong than a guy coming at 2 similarly after hanging out with friends, not any important work, who occasionally flirts with a lot of girls as a sort of habit? Yeah, I fail to basically understand the concept here. Is the concept anything other than patriarchy? Yeah, is it? And then Zaroon's mom, Ghazala. I don't know how to do. I don't know. I think it should be Ghazal, but then the like her husband calls her Ghazala. So yeah, is wrong because she wanted to succeed in a career. Sure, God, how? Why? Well, I don't know. He's just being a boy. Isn't that what we teach our boys? To teach the societal norms to your moms, your sisters, and every woman you have any relation with, because you're entitled to more. Why? No clue. Oh yeah, the society says so. So yes. Well, the show in many ways reinforces patriarchy, points out that women cannot choose to not marry, this social acceptance, you know. And now coming back to Zaroon's mom that we were discussing, but also I certainly feel that Zaroon's mom criticizing her husband is also just not what feminism is. Feminism is gender equality. It's not we want women to be at a better position than men. No, it's just equality. And what we fail to understand here is that because of certain people who are wrong in their practice of a concept, who are using feminism as a concept for the selfish benefits, doesn't make the concept in itself wrong. It just makes the person wrong, and every person is imperfect. To judge them for their actions, for their particular uh, actions, but not take the concept down as a whole just because a certain single person or couple of people practiced it in the wrong way or did something else in the name of it. And also, what's wrong here in reinforcing the stereotype that professional, liberal, and career minded women cannot be good housewives? Like, I don't understand that. I just don't understand that. Also, that women need to be monitored by men around them and what they wear and where they go and what time they come back by. Very beautifully, the show portrays the male masculinity. How fragile is that? And the male honor, and that, you know, is stupid. I mean, why are you putting all of us at this pain? Why? Just don't make us suffer, okay? Please, patriarchy, go back to your home, which is in the dustbin. And we don't want to open the dustbin ever again. We'll just burn you. So, yeah, go by. Bye. Now, the woman's primary job is taking care of the kids, okay? And man's? He can do whatever he wants. If he helps in the home, Oh, he's such a nice man, super amazing, extraordinary, helping her wife raise his own kids. Oh my god, so much work. No? But isn't that what dads are actually supposed to do? They also decided to have the kids, so equal responsibility, no? Haha, no. Why? Don't know. Don't ask me that. I'm a man. You don't get to ask me anything. I'm the head. Shut up. Disclaimer and like a, I don't know, bracket parenthesis. Just listen to me. It's not for every man. Every man. Why do I do that to myself? Every man. Yeah, so just don't be offended, okay? If you're a nice man, I appreciate you. We clap for you. Yeah. So it's not for every man out there, okay? We love you, the nice men. But yeah, we have to talk about the wrong men too. And then my favorite character, Rafia. I love Rafia. I see my mom and Rafia in many ways, which is beautiful, and I think a lot of women would do. And it's okay if you don't. It's okay. It's just fine. I know that some things are not as good as you may want them to be, but it's okay. So yeah, when we talk about Rafia, the lovely character, as amazing mom and super strong woman, that's I guess from where Kashyap got it. She has a motherly, soft, guarding aura, but is also determined and likes to make her own decisions. That's beautiful. That's I don't think I have to talk about it because it's so beautiful. Like she's the best character in the entire show. Yeah, Kashyap's also good, but I love her. Love her character. Yes, she's so nice. Now next, Murtaza. You. One word, chauvinist. Well, chauvinism is pervasive across classes, though. Show pretty much shows us that. Yeah, now, well, we know that the show was pretty hypocritical. So was Murtaza. And as a feminist, I think that the blatant promotion of patriarchy in this show is not very women empowering. I had to say it. And on the one end, the show portrays Ghazala, Sarah, and Asmara as over the top, very liberal women who want to make their own decisions and want to be independent as wrong. But on the other hand, it sort of shows Kashyap's independence and her her decision to make all her decisions on herself just fine, which was pretty hypocritical. And I think, I don't know, I think it was because of the way they dressed up, probably. Like you judge a person from their first look, and you judged Asmara, Ghazala, and Sarah because they were dressing up differently, that they're basically wrong, which is in itself wrong. I mean, will you now judge a book by its cover? Is it even a good, suitable? No, it doesn't suit. Or does it? I don't know. Does it suit here? Tell me. And yeah, that is pretty hypocritical. And as I repeatedly say, concern, not restrictions. Concern along with the active steps to try to make the situation and the society a lot more better for women, not just restrictions, because that is just a way to actually, keep upholding the system because you are eventually following it. And also, dear men, here the show sort of shows that, Zarun is giving independence and freedom to her wife, and her father was giving to hers. Dear men, you don't have any right to grant us independence or freedom. You are not the owner to let us free. Remember? It might sound a bit weird, but this is true. And I don't think it's mean in any way whatsoever. Like, we're basically similar human beings. Just because there was certain wrong sort of rules operating in the pre-era in the past years, many, many years, doesn't mean that that's what's right. I mean, if I've been sharpening my pencil from the wrong end, doesn't mean that's the way to do it. Or probably if, like, whatever. It's not the way to do it, okay? Do you get it? I'm running out of examples now. Now, what you can do and should do as lovely fellow human beings and feminists is you should help women in achieving that freedom to break the societal norms that a woman is supposed to adhere to and not to obstruct her as she goes on to conquer her goals. Do not limit her or stop her to tell her that she's not good enough or that she should not do it because she's a woman. And at the same time, tell her as a friend what you think can help her better. Do not, I repeat, do not restrict her. Show concern for her as a friend. Do not dominate her or restrict her. You get it, boys? I know you get it. You're the nice boys of this generation. Even the last generations had nice boys. I can't be discriminatory or stereotypical when I say that. Yeah, all the generations have nice men. I mean, yeah, but we can make an active effort to be nicer and have reach the goal of gender equality that we aspire to reach. Also, we see that our definition of liberation tends to be quite shallow and skewed at several times. We should actually try to be more open towards it. And yeah, I love the show for a lot of reasons, which most of which I've mentioned already. And yeah, the thing that I loved the most was that they wrote their diaries daily, which is beautiful. Like, I've been trying to write my diary daily. I've been very particular about it and I have followed the schedule quite a lot. Like, I've been writing a lot, but then there are many times, like many days, when I often forget to write. And then, so yeah. So I love that they wrote their diary daily, which is beautiful. And there's a novel which is based on the show, as I mentioned, and I'll put that in the description box below. Yeah, okay. So just watch the show if you haven't and relate if you have. And let's keep being feminists because we're all feminists. And let's smash the patriarchy together. Yours, emerging lady.